Hey, friends. Welcome to the Swing My Heart podcast. Come join me, your host, Nicole, for some hope-filled conversations about heartfelt entertainment that makes your heart swing. Hey, Hallmarkies. Welcome to the Swing My Heart podcast. I'm your host, Nicole, and today I'm very excited to have a special guest to the podcast for the first time, the lovely Amy Groening. Welcome to the podcast, Amy.
Thank you, Nicole, and excellent pronunciation of my last name. I know there's
Oh,
always a
thank
little
you.
confusion there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So my first question is, how did you get started in the film and TV industry, and what inspired you to become an actor?
Well, I actually started my career in the arts as a dancer. I was a dancer all
Okay.
growing up, ballet and modern, and so I didn't have a lot of time for extracurriculars at that time in my life. So my first kind of main foray into acting was university one when I was like 18. And I just took an intro to acting for fun. I knew I liked it. I'd done a little few things in high school and things, but nothing ever serious.
Okay.
And my university professor took me aside a couple of classes in and she asked me if I wanted to do like a mentorship with her where she would it was this really cool program. And I just felt so honored that she saw something in me when I was taking this kind of leap of faith in this new arena. And that made me feel like I was in the right place. And then just about a week or two later, my teacher's assistant in that very same class asked me if I wanted to be in a short film he was making.
Okay.
And so one thing led to another, and I ended up making a bunch of short films with this filmmaker who was studying at the same university, and it led to a feature film, which was
That's
very low
amazing.
budget. I think I got
Yeah.
paid like $100 for the entire thing. But it
Yeah.
was just kind of a horror grindhouse.
Okay.
Essentially, it just lit a fire, inside of me, and
Hmm.
I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, this is what I want to
Yeah.
do. It was just so there's nothing like the energy of being like on a set.
Oh, yeah. I've never
Yeah.
been on a set, but I would love to have the chance to visit a set one day.
You gotta come, Nicole.
Yes. I actually took film class in 10th grade and then another film class in college, and I had a great time
Oh,
with both of my
fantastic.
classes. Yeah.
Well, you know a lot about movies, so.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Yeah,
It's always nice to have a mentor too that you
it
can
is.
go to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That mentorship didn't last like beyond my university, but
Mm.
it kind of scooted me out the door, which
That's
was fun.
good.
Yeah. And then
And
after that I moved to New York to do a little bit of studying at the neighborhood playhouse in School of the Theater in New York. And that got me even more excited. And then I moved to Toronto
yeah.
and it was just, how one thing leads to another in these ways.
Hmm.
You don't know
Very
where
true.
you're headed, but then you kind of arrive there and you're like, oh,
Hmm.
nice.
Yes. I've always been into the arts too. One of my mentors in high school was my yearbook advisor. I still keep in touch with her every now and
Oh,
then. And being on the yearbook staff is actually what got me into what I went to school for, graphic design.
that's very
So,
cool. Yeah,
yes.
you need those people who
Yeah.
like see that something in you and maybe you
Yeah.
don't see it yourself.
Very true. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So your first role on Hallmark was in the movie My One and Only, where you played a character named Lisa Gray. Could you share a little bit about that and how you got that role?
Yeah. Oh my God, that was quite a number of years ago. That was such a fun one. That was my first foray into Hallmark, wasn't it?
Okay.
I
I
so
think so.
that was
Yeah.
I booked that off of a self-tape. I was not living in the place that it was shooting in, so they flew me in and most of the cast was from out of town. And so we kind of had this fun family bond, like when you're all from out of town going to
Mm-hmm.
restaurants and meeting. But yeah, that was with Pascal Hutton and Sam Page and
Yes.
Stephen Hazar as well. There was 2 male
Yes.
leads in that one.
Yep.
I'm remembering now. It's all
Yes.
coming back.
Yep.
And that film was mostly shot out of the city on
Okay.
like kind of a ranch, but it was
Okay.
memorable because it was just like gorgeous summer weather and
Yeah.
we were all in these fields and these locations together and it was just like kind of like a camp energy,
Yeah.
really a summer camp vibe where
Hmm.
Um, yeah. And actually, speaking of tornadoes, there was a tornado that happened. I'm just remembering
Oh
now.
no.
Yeah, and I've never had this happen before, but on set there was our phones were going off and we all had to go inside and like lay down and people like
Oh
all the
wow.
tents got blown over. It
Oh
ended
my
up being
goodness.
fine, but it was a big
That's
windstorm.
good.
But
Yeah.
fun to remember because nothing bad happened, but
Yes.
yeah,
I really enjoyed that movie. It was a really fun movie.
it was a cute one. It was really
Yes.
cute.
So most of my listeners are fans of When Calls the Heart and Chesapeake Shores, which stars Pascal Hutton and Chris McNally and Stephen Hazar. What was it
Absolutely.
like working with them on My One and Only and Snowkissed? And were there any fun memories other than what you've already shared?
Yeah, right. The tornado.
Yeah.
Pascal is just like she's a light. She's just like
Yes,
bursting
she
with
is.
energy. She's just so kind and so
Hmm.
professional and she felt like a big sister to me. It was my first Hallmark
Oh,
movie and she was just so kind and generous and I can't say enough good things about Pascal. It's been a long time since I've
hmm.
seen her, but I really hope I get to work
She's
with her again.
great. Yes.
She's
I hope
so,
you do
so
too.
wonderful. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we've actually crossed paths on other movies, where she
Hmm.
had like a little guest star, but we never got to see
Okay.
them. So yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Stephen Hazar is such a treat. He's such a goof. He's like a ham. He's just
Oh.
the sweetest, funnest guy to hang out with on
Hmm.
set. I can't remember any specifics, but
It's okay.
he's
All
just
good.
like, yeah, he's one of those guys that just like makes you smile, you know? He's
Yes.
he's like a wacky. Okay, that was my one and only. And now I'm trying to think. Chris McNally. Oh, Snowkissed. That was
Yes,
really
focus.
fun one. Chris McNally is he remi- he's awesome. He reminds me of like
Yes.
my friends. Like he's
Oh.
just like very on the same level. He's very like calm and kind of
Hmm.
down to earth
Yeah.
and I think he's from Vancouver. He's just like
Okay. Yeah.
he's just a good guy.
He is. Yeah.
So
Yes.
kind and sweet. That film in particular, Snowkissed, was a really special one because it was kind of a four-hander. It was me,
Okay.
and Lily, Chris, and Rodrigo Belfus. I could be saying his
Okay.
name wrong, but it was in
Okay.
deep COVID, and
Yeah.
we were at this location in the middle of the country. It was this winter, and everyone was locked down and masks, and
Hmm.
so to have this little like four person family that you got to spend a month with when
Okay.
no one was supposed to hang out
Yeah.
felt really intimate and special. Like I think there was like
Oh.
an extra connection that we had because of the world situation that was going
Hmm.
on when that was filming.
Yeah.
And on top of that, we actually got to fly to Banff. Banff, the
Wow.
film. Yeah, so the
That's
end of
awesome.
the film was, or not the end, but part of the end was at the top of this mountain. We had to take a gondola up, and it was just completely empty again because of
Oh.
COVID. And it was just
Hmm.
us on top of this mountain. And actually, another natural disaster. There had been
Oh
a
no.
horrendous snowstorm the night before. So when we were driving up to the top of the mountain, there was just like snow pelting down. And we were like, how
No.
are we going to film this? But the skies cleared.
Hmm.
And it was just like, it was one of those movie moments you can't make up because there's no
No.
set deck that can make a mountaintop
No.
look like it's just had a snowstorm. But
No.
we just got a snowstorm. It was magic.
Wow.
Just magic, pure
Wow.
magic.
I've never experienced a snowstorm, but I've heard that they can be scary at times.
Never?
No?
You got to come to Canada. There's a couple down here. Yeah,
It hardly snows here because it's always so warm,
I
but that's
believe it.
okay.
Well, they're very beautiful. Once the snow has stopped falling,
Hmm.
it's very
Yes.
beautiful. A big blanket over the
Hmm.
whole world.
Yes. It has snowed here before, but not enough to actually stick for a long period of time. It
Right.
snowed about an inch or two, but not really much more than that.
I imagine when it snows as well that all the drivers are like, "What is going on? There must be
Hmm.
chaos on the roads."
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. You've also worked on projects with Hallmark, such as The Secret Ingredient, Project Christmas Wish, The Santa Summit, and Miracle in Bethlehem, PA, which are a few of my personal favorites. What was your experience like on those sets? And do you have a favorite behind the scenes memory?
Oh my goodness. Bringing back so many good memories.
Oh,
You just listed so many. I'm like, which one to
oh,
start with?
oh,
Well,
that's
Santa
okay.
Summit was just last year, so
Just
that's
last year,
super
yeah.
fresh in my memory. Santa Summit was one of those movies where kind of everything just fits
Mm-hmm.
together just right. The cast
Yeah.
was just such a good meshing
Mm-hmm.
of people. The script was
Yeah.
like just one of those scripts that you read and it's just popping off the page.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all brought a lot of energy to
Yes.
it, but the script itself had a life of its own.
Yes.
Um, Russell Hayland, got to do a shout out. He's amazing. He's absolutely
Yes.
phenomenal. I'm
Fantastic.
obsessed with Russell. Um, and so, oh my, and then the Hunter and Ben Hollingsworth, Hunter King, and
Mm-hmm.
um, it felt like the movie is about best friends, like going on an
Yep.
adventure, and we just
Mm-hmm.
felt like best friends that we'd
Yes.
always known each other going
Oh,
on an adventure.
yeah.
It's like it's not very often that you have when work just feels like play,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
just pure
Yeah.
play. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't think of a specific example though. I mean,
Oh, this is
so
good.
the film is it's come out. I'm not spoiling anything to say that everyone is
No.
wearing Santa costumes for 98% of the film.
Wow. Yeah.
And so a lot of people in the city we were shooting in kept messaging me and being like, why are there 200 Santas parading down the street right now? Is this
That's,
a movie you're in? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm one of the Santas.
that
So
is awesome.
it's completely absurd,
That
but
is awesome. And
yeah.
I do have to say, fun fact, the Santa Summit was my number three Christmas movie for 2023.
Ooh, that's
So it
not
was in my top
bad.
10.
Thank you so much. We
Of
appreciate
course.
the fans seem to really respond to that one, which is pretty cool when that happens. It was,
I
yeah.
loved it. One of the best movies I think Hallmark has done in a long time.
It was also neat because it broke the formula a little bit, like
Hmm.
had some different elements at play.
Yeah.
I really loved the female friendship, the three
Hmm.
gals kind of
Yes, I did
it's
too.
more about them than
Yeah.
the male,
The
the kind
romance. Yeah.
of, yeah, which I think is a beautiful
Yes.
area to
Hmm.
explore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, the Postables Bands of Sign Seal Delivered know Ben from the pilot movie. What was it like working with Ben?
Ben is hilarious. He's such a sweetie. He's very thoughtful. I remember he started the
Yes.
shoot off giving everyone a candle and like I can't wait to go on
Oh,
the journey with
that's
you.
really
He's
sweet.
just one of these people that's very very thoughtful, very intentional.
Yes.
He organized like a group dinner for the cast. He's just
Oh, that's
wants to
sweet.
be
Yeah.
like close
Hmm.
and personal with you. Yeah, he's such a wonderful guy. I actually just started watching a little bit of Virgin River, which is
Love
an
Virgin
older
River.
I know, but I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Ben, he's so naughty in that
Yes.
show.
Hmm.
He's so
Such
naughty."
so different from his Hallmark characters, but he still does a fantastic job in
He
every
sure
role
does.
he's in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Ben is an absolute gem. We often got to drive to work together, and so we had a lot of like
Yeah.
fun convos and
Oh, that's
so
awesome. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Honestly, the Hallmark world is filled with some of
Hmm.
the best humans you'll
Yes.
ever meet. Like I have yet to meet one of these people these actors you see on TV and not be like, I just, you're just friends.
Yeah.
They're just good people,
Yes.
you
Yeah.
know?
I agree. Even I've said this before, but even the ones that I've talked to, like every single person I've had on the podcast or met in person at fan conventions, some of the kindest people I've ever met.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
don't
very
know if it
refreshing.
attracts that kind of person or how it works, but
Yeah.
it just seems like everyone who is involved with this network and these films are just like genuinely really, really kind and good people. And
Yes.
makes work really fun,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very refreshing because you don't see that every day these
So
days. So I love seeing it with Hallmark, of course.
Yeah, and it's nice that, life is replicating art like that.
Mhm.
It really is. We're not necessarily
Yeah.
exactly like the characters we're playing, obviously,
Mhm.
but that there is like a goodness, that there is a goodness that's shining through, I think. So, yeah. Ben
Yes,
is no
very
exception.
true.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I just thought of Secret Ingredient though. That was with Erin
Okay.
Cahill, and I know she has a
Yes.
movie coming out this week I saw.
Yes.
So, that's awesome. She is just what a pro. She's so professional. She's so cool. Oh,
Yes, she is.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know she had you wouldn't have any idea, but she did have a little bit of a cold during that shoot, and just like watching someone like
Oh.
not let anything get in their way of
Mhm.
like making a perfect movie. It's like, you know,
Yeah.
you learn from people like that, you think.
Mhm. Very true.
Impressive.
I actually just spoke to her on Monday,
You're
and my
kidding.
interview will be out
Oh,
tomorrow with her. Yeah,
amazing. She is such a sweetheart.
she is. Yes.
Yeah.
Had such a great time. Do you have a favorite role on and off Hallmark you've had the opportunity to play?
Hmm. That's a really good question.
Thank you.
I'm I'm like, should I pick Hallmark or something else? There was one role that I played. It's not super available to watch because it was a pilot
Okay.
that got canceled, but it was
Oh,
called Horizon, and it was
okay.
a zombie kind of like
Okay.
sci-fi show, and
Okay.
I was this really bubbly, it was set in the 40s, and I was this really bubbly, kind of gossipy, like office worker who was like
Okay.
delving into things, and the costumes and the hair were just unbelievable. Um, the producer of that was Gail Ann Hurd, who does like The Walking
Okay.
Dead, and so
Okay.
it was just one of those period pieces where you feel like you're walking into a totally other world, and that I think that
Sure.
made it really special. And it didn't get picked up, but I have very fond memories of that shoot
Mhm.
and of that character. Her name was Mabel Jones,
Oh, I love that name.
and I just thought it was a great name. It's got a ring to it,
Oh,
doesn't
yeah. It really does.
it? It does.
If you could travel back in time to a particular era, what would it be? Speaking
Ooh,
of the 40s.
me? I mean, the hair and the makeup in that era was pretty
Hmm.
pretty beautiful and cool. That's a
Yeah.
great question. I feel like the 70s.
70s are fun. I think I would pick
Yeah.
the 70s, the 50s, or the 20s.
Yeah. The 20s too, with the little flapper dresses.
Yes.
I
Yep.
should I'm only
Oh,
thinking about the outfits for some reason. There's a lot of other things going on. Uh,
yes.
but the 70s, I think, there was a very groovy time.
Hmm.
I feel
I I grew up on 70s music with my dad because he's a
yeah,
musician and a songwriter. So I grew up listening to a lot of the 70s artists like Loggins and Messina, America, Coco, I think is another one. Carole King, James Taylor, all those good
exactly.
artists.
Great
Yes.
tunes.
Yeah.
Great outfits as
Yes.
stated, but
Yes.
just a very I don't know, it seemed like a simpler time, you know?
Yes, I was going to say that. Simpler time. Which role has had the biggest impact on you and why?
Hmm. I don't know. The Santa Summit was just last year, and I feel like the response from fans and the opportunity to lead my own film this year, with
Yeah.
Hallmark is a huge opportunity that I don't take
Yeah.
lightly. I'm incredibly grateful.
Oh,
And so
that's
I
awesome.
feel like maybe Santa Summit, just because
Okay.
it was this movie that kind of it
Yeah.
felt like people saw me in a new way, maybe a little bit, and I was really grateful
Yeah.
for that and for the response and just the love that the film got and
Yeah.
that my character received. It felt like, yeah, she was really, really seen, and so I'm really
Yeah.
grateful for Ava, that character Ava,
Oh,
and
yes.
yeah,
You
I
did
think.
such a great job in that role,
Well,
of
thank you.
course.
It's always fun to play a
But
nerd, you know?
yeah. Yes.
Who's not a
Yes.
nerd in real life anyway, right?
I'm a nerd about Hallmark movies.
I'm a huge nerd. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Most of my listeners always want to know what an actor's most challenging role has been. So, what has been your most challenging role?
Hmm. Most challenging role. There was a film I did called Bone Cage, which
Okay.
not to toot my horn, but I did get
No, that's fine.
a nomination for Canadian Screen Award for that, and
That's
that is,
amazing.
yeah, it's at the Canadian Oscars, so
Yeah.
pretty cool. And that was a really, really challenging role. It was a really dark, a dark film about. It was based on a play actually,
Okay.
about these four characters who don't have a lot going on in their lives. They don't have a lot of support financially or family wise, and they're just trying to kind of make a better life for themselves. And so it was a really good opportunity to delve into some darker stuff and some kind of deeper emotional
Yeah.
wells and family conflict. And yeah,
Mhm.
it's I think that definitely her name was Chicky.
Okay. Yeah. That's
Her name was
awesome.
Chick. Yeah, so I think that one. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll have to check it out and see if I can find it to watch anywhere.
I think it's on Prime, but
Okay. Yeah, we have
I don't
Prime.
know if it's on Prime in the US, but check it out. It's called Bone Cage.
Okay. I'll definitely look for it.
Yeah. It's not a Hallmark movie, I'll tell you
Oh,
that.
that's okay.
Yeah.
That is okay. When you're given a role, what is your process like for learning the script and getting into character?
Hmm. Well, it depends how much time I have with the script
Okay.
because each film is different. Sometimes Hallmark movies go really, really quickly, and not just Hallmarks, any movie.
Hmm.
So if you have the luxury of time and you have even a couple of weeks to prepare with the script, I I always do just like a cold read first. I just want to like
Okay.
read it through as one unified piece to kind of get a
Okay.
sense of the whole story and where my character fits into it. And then I do like two more kind of full read throughs. Um,
Okay.
and I have like a whole system of organization where if there's scenes that are really long or really kind of like challenging emotionally or anything like that, I do a bit of a like a I gotta come back to you asterisk, and then those are the
Okay.
scenes that I focus on first. Because when they make a schedule for the movie, you never know if you're gonna have like 5 really heavy dialogue scenes the
Hmm.
first day, and I just like to
Hmm.
have a quick
Hmm.
memorization and an understanding of the character before you suddenly get a lot of lines dumped on you on day 1 and
Yeah.
you're not prepared, which has
Yeah.
never happened to me because I like to prepare, but
Yes.
this is a
Yeah.
system that works for me. But if you don't have that luxury of time, then you just trust yourself and you
Mm-hmm.
read the script and you get the schedule and you prepare on the fly as you go, and you just
Yeah.
kind of like you just have to like trust that you know what you're doing and that you
Yeah.
know the character, and that you know and that's fun too. It's fun to push yourself to just be like, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't need to over prepare, we're here, we're in the
Yeah.
moment, we're doing it.
I agree. Yeah, and that's great. It's a great
Yeah.
process.
Yeah.
We all can't wait for the premiere of Twas the Date Before Christmas, premiering October 18th, so just 15 days. Without giving anything away, can you share more about the movie and tease a favorite or memorable moment from filming that movie?
Oh, I'm so excited for this movie to come out. I can't wait. Yes, I will not give anything away, but I shot the film with the delightful Robert Buckley,
Mhm.
who I
He's
don't
great.
know. Have you
He's,
spoken with him before? He's a
I have not. I
really
would love to. I would love to. He's
he
great.
he and I, when we met, we were like, oh, okay. Like we're gonna be, yeah, we were instant buddies. Like there
Oh,
was
that's awesome.
it's just one of those things. We have a lot in
Yeah.
common. We're both really obsessed with the Food Network, which is interesting. We spent a lot of time watching Beat Bobby Flay on
Mhm.
downtime or just like goofing around. But the film itself is it's a really, really fun premise, and, I think that Rob and I have really, really fun chemistry. It takes place at my family Christmas, as you know,
Okay. Yeah.
And so it's a little bit of an ensemble cast where we get a chance to get to know these other characters, my crazy aunt and, my mom and my
Mhm.
stepdad and my niece and nephew. And I feel like as a whole cast, there's just this immense energy and fun and playfulness to the film that I hope the audience will really, really enjoy. Um, and in terms of, behind the scenes, like, there's one scene that I remember filming, and it was because there's a lot of lying happening, especially at the beginning, right? Because
Okay. Yeah.
I don't like he's my coming to my family Christmas,
Yep.
and I'm
Mhm.
saying he's my boyfriend,
Mhm.
but of course he's not.
Not.
He's
Yeah.
not. And so there's a really fun scene with my mom and Rob, and she's asking how we met and how long we've been dating and all, the story
Mhm.
of our romance. And
Yeah.
it's very fun because, of course, we're not dating, and so there's a lot of talking over each
Mhm.
other, and I'm looking forward to that one. Yeah,
I can't wait to see it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So this movie, it involves a Christmas Olympics. Have you ever done anything like that with your family for the holidays?
I wish I got to bring that into my family tradition.
You should.
I
It looks
should.
like a lot of fun.
We definitely do puzzles, which is a little bit less
I love
Olympic.
puzzles. Yeah.
We usually do some sledding, which is good. But I think you're right. I gotta bring more like competition
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah.
Definitely the
Yeah.
Chamberlains. That's my character's last name.
Yeah.
They are
Chamber.
very competitive, and
Okay.
my family, my own family, I think we try to keep the competition out at Christmas because I don't know how that would go. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
my goodness.
It
Yes,
might
I
get
do.
crazy up in there, Might
Oh
get a
my
little too
gosh.
crazy. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I have a big family too. So I have 9 or 10 first cousins on my mom's side. So it is always a lot of fun at
Do you do
Christmas.
any of those like gift exchange, like crazy, crazy gift exchange games or anything?
We don't play games, but we have started drawing names for Christmas. So each family, like on my mom's side, so say I have 4 people in my immediate family, or 3, my
Right.
mom, my dad, and my brother. So whoever ends up drawing our names, that's the people that that family will get the gifts for, and so on and so on. But yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And also then you don't have to buy, 30 gifts, which can get a little
Oh,
excessive, right?
but
Yeah.
we used to do that, and I wish I still had a picture, or I wish I could find the picture, but there's one that I took a while back, and the gifts are literally coming to the coffee table from under the tree at my grandmother's house. I'm not even joking.
That's a large pile of gifts.
We have about 25 people that normally come over
Oh my
for
goodness.
Christmas.
How do you all sit down for dinner? Is there a table big enough? That's a big
Some of
table.
us sit in the family room, some of us sit in the kitchen, and then some of us sit in the formal dining room. But yeah,
You
it's
gotta
always a lot of
split
fun.
up when you've got a big family gathering. You can't, yeah,
Hmm.
exactly.
It's really like the movies, though. It's really like these Hallmark movies where it's the big families, and it's so much fun.
Hmm. The antics come out.
Yes.
Hmm. Yeah, always dynamics at Christmas, that's for sure.
Hmm. Do you have a favorite memory from Christmas growing up you would like to share?
Oh, well, I am actually a Christmas baby, so my birthday is just right
Oh,
for Christmas.
that's
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm born December 21st, so I
Okay.
have so many fond memories of Christmas, not just because of my birthday. I'm just
Yeah.
like I'm a Christmas I'm a Christmas person. I love
Yeah.
Christmas.
Love Christmas. Me
I
too.
love the feeling, not to be
Hmm.
like do 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 do, but like I love
Yeah.
the feeling in the air. Like it's not so much about
Yeah.
the day and the presents. That's
Hmm.
neither here nor there. It's
Yeah.
like the month lead up and
Hmm.
the for me snow, of course, not for
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah.
Um and yeah, I mean I'm even the person who cries at commercials at Christmas,
I
Just
sometimes do too.
easy holiday commercials. They
Yeah.
get me. They get me.
Mm.
But a memory, I have one memory of my mom.
Okay.
I'm a really big salt. I love I like sweet stuff too, but I'm a
Yeah,
really big salt person. And so
I
I
am
remember
too.
opening, yeah, it's so good. I remember opening my stocking and I had a jar of olives in my stocking. And I was like, my mom gets me, you know? This is
Oh,
exactly
yeah,
what I
yeah.
wanted in my
Oh my
stocking,
goodness.
which will be super gross to some people, but
Hmm.
I really love salt. I really love olives.
Oh,
So I remember that stocking gift
oh,
quite
yeah.
vividly because it's unique, certainly.
Do you have a favorite scene and set from Twas the Date Before Christmas that Hallmarkies can look out for while watching
Mm,
this movie?
good question.
Thank you.
There is one scene that Rob and I shot that I'm really looking forward to seeing how it looks
Okay.
aesthetically because we were filming at night, walking through these horse paddocks. And it
Okay.
was so beautiful. These horses were just like, they actually had to stop a take once because they were like
Oh,
stomping
yeah.
their feet. But
Oh,
um, it's quite a romantic kind of intimate scene where we're getting into some deeper topics
okay.
and I'm just really like the kind of like the quiet mood lighting and like the
Hmm.
horses in the background and
Yeah.
snow. I think that'll be a really beautiful scene where the characters kind of see each other in a new light, and I'm excited for that one. And I
I can't
remember
wait to
the
see that.
shooting of it was very like it was late night, it was the end of the night. There's just like
Mhm.
kind of like an ease to it, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. I think it's
Yeah.
going to be great.
Yeah.
What do you hope audiences will take away from watching Twas the Date Before Christmas?
I hope that audiences take away the fun that we had. Rob and I had such a good chemistry, such a good banter and rapport. And I hope that that translates on screen and that the audience feels that connection and that fun that we had. And I think that we're going to be a really great on screen kind of pairing. And so I just hope that
Yeah,
that translates through to the audience where they're like, oh, yeah, these guys got to get together. So that's
I
my
think,
hope. That's
yeah,
my
I
hope.
think it will too. Yeah, I think everyone's going to love it.
Yeah.
Is there a Hallmark actor that you haven't worked with yet that you would love to in the future?
Oh my
I know
gosh.
that's a tough question.
So many of them. I want to work with all of
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Um, one person that I knew from before was Benjamin Ayers. I had worked with
Okay,
him.
love Ben.
Yeah, I love Ben. I had worked with him years ago on
Okay,
a show called Frankie Drake, and I was his
okay.
magician's assistant, and he was a magician.
What?
It was
That's awesome.
super funny, and but I did work with him, so I this isn't really answering your question
Yeah.
because
Oh, that's
parody,
okay. That's okay.
but he's just such a delight. Who else? Ooh, I
Hmm.
don't know. I want to work with Chris McNally again, but as
Yeah,
his romantic,
yeah,
because I he was just like a friend in the movie to me.
yeah.
I'd really
Hmm.
love to work with him again, opposites as leads because I
Be
just loved
great.
his energy. I
Yeah.
think it was really, really fun. Andrew Walker would be great.
Andrew's great. Yeah.
Um, but, honestly, work your way
Anyone.
down the list. I want to work with everyone,
Yeah.
every single person.
Yes.
Brendan Penny also was another guy
Hmm.
I did work with, in
Hmm.
Secret Ingredient with Aaron
See.
Cahill,
Yeah.
and he's also just such a treat. I'd love to work with him
Yes.
as
Yeah.
opposites of lead. Yeah,
So many great leading guys out there.
they're all great.
Yes. You can't go wrong.
You just need a lot of movies to get to work with all of them because there's so many.
Yes. If you could choose a dream film project, what would the storyline be and what kind of character would you portray?
Hmm. One thing I would really love to do would be to have like a TV series where you
Okay.
got a chance to be that character for a long time. And
Yeah.
so I guess a dream of mine would be to have a comedy, kind of a romance comedy TV series that has multiple seasons and where
Yeah.
I get to kind of live in that character and in that world with those castmates for a longer
Yeah.
time. Because one
Yeah.
of the hardest things about our job is
Mhm.
you kind of make these instant connections with people and you have
Yeah.
these really uh, family-like settings,
Mhm.
and then you just don't see each other again.
I know,
And as
yeah.
fun as it is, it's heartbreaking sometimes because you miss your
Mhm.
friends, you know? And so the
Yeah.
opportunity to get to dive in a little deeper, both
Mhm.
with a character, and also with cast and with crew and with
Yeah.
storyline, that would be a dream come true for sure.
Yeah. And I would love to see you on a current Hallmark show as well, like When Calls the Heart,
So
or what's another one? Or Signed, Sealed, Delivered. I know that's a movie series, but still a series. So
that'd be a
it would
dream.
be
I'd love
fantastic.
to.
Do you have any other interests in the industry, such as writing, directing, or producing?
I do. Yeah, I'm actually developing a pitch for Hallmark right now, which why I won't say
Okay.
anything about, but
Oh, that's okay.
so I'm really excited about that, and I'm also developing a TV series.
Okay.
It's like a sitcom, and so hopefully I can get my ducks in a row and
Fingers crossed.
get that
Yeah.
out into the universe. But yeah, I love
Yeah.
writing. I've always been
That's
a writer
awesome.
on the side, and hopefully get to produce some of my own work as well as time goes on. So yeah,
Yeah.
definitely always trying to cook up something.
Yeah. I hope you can too. And screenwriting is fun. My dad actually got a degree in screenwriting, a master's degree from the University of Georgia.
Oh, fantastic. Has he made
And
anything?
he has not yet. He's got a couple of things he's been working on. And actually, one of those things is a Hallmark movie that we're working on together, my dad.
Fantastic. Well, part of the
So,
journey is just the doing, like getting
yes.
it made is amazing too, but
Hmm.
you know, I always try not to be too hard on myself and just like the work is also part of
Yeah.
the joy of
Hmm.
it, and
Yeah.
each step gets you closer.
Yeah.
So,
It's a lot of
yeah.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Are there any other upcoming projects that we can look forward to besides the ones you just mentioned coming up?
I just had a film come out called To the Moon. It's like an indie
Okay.
comedy. So I don't know where that's available to stream yet because it just came out,
Oh,
but
that's okay.
that stay
Yeah,
tuned for that one. And
definitely.
then there's one other Christmas surprise, but I can't say
Okay.
anything about that just yet. So
Oh, I can't wait for
yeah.
both of those projects as well. I have a fun Christmas this or that game as we start
Ooh,
to wrap up. If you would like to play
it's fantastic.
Christmas in a small town or in a big city.
Small town.
Yeah, small
Yeah.
town. But
I
big
want to
city's fun too.
I want to get out on those country roads.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cue the Country Road song by John Denver.
Exactly. And go. Yeah.
Christmas movie marathon or Christmas caroling?
Movie marathon. Yeah.
Yes. Although
Yeah.
caroling is fun, but
It's
can't go
good, but
wrong.
I wanna put on like gigantic slippers, like fuzzy slippers, and have like a whole line of snacks
Yep.
and just like
Yes.
get into it.
Yep. Same.
Yeah.
The Santa Claus or Jack Frost?
Santa,
Santa Claus is great. Yes, I would pick the Santa Claus.
you know?
Yep. Although Jack Frost is great, but that's a movie that'll make you cry every single time.
It's true. And I'm not always in the mood for that.
No,
No.
but Michael Keaton does a great job in
He's
his role.
he's incredible.
Yes.
I just saw something
It,
with him coming out recently and I forget what it is. Anyway, love Michael Keaton.
yes, he's fantastic. It's a Wonderful Life or A Christmas Story?
A Christmas Story,
I
I
have
think.
never seen either one of those.
Are you kidding? Oh, well, that's all right.
No.
There's still time. This Christmas,
Yeah,
you can watch them.
I'm
A,
going to
Chris-
watch them this year.
a Christmas Story is a classic. He's a
Yes.
natural boy. Yes.
Yes. I will definitely be watching those this year
Hmm.
because I've heard
Yeah,
they're
put it on the
fantastic.
list. Add it to the docket.
Add it to the 48 movies from Hallmark.
Right. Exactly. You won't be busy at all.
Nope, not at all. But I don't mind it. I love
Yeah.
Christmas movies. So. Go the entire Christmas season without Christmas movies or without Christmas music.
That's an impossible decision.
I know.
I think I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I think I need Christmas music because what are you going to listen to when you're doing all your baking?
That's
You can have
true.
Christmas movies on in the background though. Okay, no, I take it back. I need Christmas movies.
Yeah, I've said Christmas movies, and I've said Christmas movies because there's Christmas music in the Christmas movies. So,
You just hacked the system. That's it. Because I was like, what am I listening to though when I'm doing my Christmas activities? But I just have the movie on in the background. This is it.
and
Yeah.
oh my gosh. Eggnog or peppermint hot cocoa?
Ooh, eggnog. I like a good eggnog.
I've never been a huge fan of eggnog. I mean, I'll drink it. It's good, but I think I would choose peppermint hot cocoa.
That's fair. Eggnog can
Yeah.
be kind of weird, honestly, and like you don't want to have too much of it because it really
Right.
is an odd beverage.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, like one or two a
Yeah.
season.
Yeah. I don't hate it. It's not something I can drink often.
That is totally fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Cookie decorating or gingerbread houses?
Hmm. I think gingerbread houses.
Yeah. Although cookie decorating is fun. That's a tough one because I love both.
Yeah. A little more like creative liberty, you know? What does
Mm-hmm.
the house look like?
Yeah. Very true. Ice skating or sledding?
Sledding.
I think I'll choose sledding since I've never been sledding, but I have been ice skating. But they're both
You
fun.
gotta go sledding. Well, this is the
I
thing. You
need to
don't
go
have
sledding.
snow. This is so,
Yeah.
we've been over this. Well,
Yes.
next time you come to Canada, you can hit the slopes on the sled.
Yes. I would love to visit there someday. I've
Oh,
heard it's
you'll have to
really
come
fun.
someday. Yeah.
Yeah. And last one, ugly sweaters or matching PJs?
Oh, you gotta do matching PJs.
Yes, matching PJs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a classic look.
Yes. At the end of my interviews, I always ask my guest to share an inspiring quote or piece of advice. Do you have a quote or piece of advice you would like to share?
Oh, I love that.
Thank you.
You know, I think just don't give up on yourself,
Hmm. Yeah.
and it's really hard to be your own champion
Hmm.
and to just truly feel good about yourself because there's just so much comparison in the world and
Hmm.
judgment. And I just try so hard to be kind to myself
Yeah.
and to others. But,
Hmm.
you know, when it gets heavy out there and you're feeling like I can't do it, you can.
Yeah.
Or at
Yeah.
least
Keep
you
going.
can keep trying. Just don't give up
Don't
because
give up.
you never
Yeah.
know what's around the corner.
Yeah.
And that's advice for myself for sure, but also
Yes.
advice for anyone else who needs to hear it. You never know.
Yeah. That's great advice. And I
Yeah.
love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where can my listeners find you on social media?
Ooh,
They are not already.
look me up on Instagram. I'm amy.groening. That's
Okay.
Groening.
Okay.
I'm also on Facebook and Twitter, but same, just Amy Groening.
Yeah.
So find me on there.
All right. Sounds good. Everyone, if you're not already following her, go do it because she's awesome.
Thank you.
Of course. Well, thank you so much, Amy. This was such a great time.
Me too. You're awesome, Nicole. Such a pleasure.
Oh,
And I wish you
thank you.
a great day.
Oh, thank you. I hope you do too. Have a great
Okay.
rest of the day and Christmas season.
Thank you, Nicole.
All right.
Chat soon.
Chat soon. Bye, everyone. All right, Hallmarkies. I think that concludes my interview with Amy Groening. If you enjoyed this episode and are watching on YouTube, you can like this video and share your favorite Amy Groening movie and what you were looking forward to most about Twas to Date Before Christmas in the comments. If you are listening on Spotify, make sure to rate and review, as your feedback is always greatly appreciated. If you want to stay up to date on all of my episodes, you can subscribe to this channel on YouTube or follow along on Spotify, and make sure to turn on the bell so you are alerted when new episodes come. You can also find the podcast on Instagram and Facebook at Swing My Heart Podcast and Twitter at Swing My Heart Pod. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world, and I will see you next time. Love y'all. Bye.